When one motocross season ends and before the next begins, we have the Supercross season, where the very best motocross riders in the world compete around the world in a series of Supercross events. This, the Pariisi event, one of the very, very hottest events on the calendar, has attracted a whole host of top American talent, a whole host of European talent, and I have to say that the Europeans are now coming into their own very much in this fast and furious sport of Supercross, the indoor packaged version of motocross for the masses. You can see the nature of the terrain. 2,000 cubic meters of earth have come in here, 200 lorry loads to provide this spectacle. The circuit built and designed by the John Savitsky, the American, who is renowned for his expertise in building of specialist Supercross circuits. This year, for the first time at Paris, the riders actually leave the arena through the service tunnel to re-enter again, and we have 125s and 250s on the program. The first time we will see 125s in World Supercross action. 125s on the line for their first heat. The basic formula of the event: we have heats going into repechage and a grand final. The event to be run over 4 nights, and what we're bringing you in tonight's program is the very best of the action from Saturday's event, and that was indeed the best night of the series. So a whole host, 11 nations taking part. Obviously the French will be rooting for their own men, but don't ignore Warren Edwards, the young Brit. Don't ignore Rob Herring, and of course the Americans have lifted this title in the 8-year history of the Paris-Bercy Supercross. 9 laps then, the heat. Watch the gate, it drops towards the riders, very tense at this time. They're away, hurtling into the spotlights, down towards the tabletop and the first turn. Riders already running wide, but looking to pick up our leader at the first turn, high in the middle. Brian Swink, the American from Michigan, riding number 7, is in the thick of the action. Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki and Honda machinery, and 2 of the Americans riding KTM. But the race leader on the Kawasaki from El Cajon in California, Mike Craig, number 9. They're riding number 28, pushing hard around the outside, Bruno Guillard, one of the French favourites. But Craig it is leading. Brian Swink, fellow countryman, number 7, in second. Kawasaki leads Honda at this stage in the race, and it's a very short race, just 9 laps. The riders have to go hard from the gate and establish some sort of lead and get into the flowing pattern under the tunnel. Craig then it is. In third place, it's number 16. That's young Warren Edwards on the Yamaha from Great Britain. So Warren Edwards in third. Americans lead in first and second. Brian Sweek, number 7, on the Honda. He's going hard. We've not seen too much of him, but he's only 17 years of age, this young man, and a brilliant future ahead of him. Swink pushing hard. Craig it is, number 9. So Mike Craig, 20 years of age, one of the Supercross specialists from North America, has ridden well in the 250cc World Outdoor Motocross Championship, but by golly, he's good at this stuff. But he's having to fight off a challenge now from Swink, and Swink goes through on the outside. Craig fighting back, but Swink it is on the Honda. 2 lengths already. Craig nearly a get-off there as his right foot came from the footrest. So Brian Swink, number 7, just 17 years of age, from Michigan. His first big victory just last year, the amateur race in the USA, was the first title that this youngster lifted, but already now he's got 5 or 6 bike lengths over Craig, and Craig is pushing hard, but it looks as though Swink is going to get this one. They're opening up that gap now over the third place man. There's the race leader. Swink it is then, looking in super control. Craig high over the tabletop behind him. Almost a sticky moment there for Swink. He hit that one straight-legged and it nearly popped him over the handlebars. Craig, a precautionary dab with the left leg, takes 2 in 1. He's really giving the Kawasaki the gas now as Swink goes hard away from him, but Craig hasn't given up. He's fighting back, and if this is typical of the action we've got from Bercy this evening, then it's going to be an action-packed program. This is only the first heat. What promise there is to come. 10,000 spectators cramming their way into this stadium, and some of them have bought season tickets for the all 4 nights of the action at something in the region of £15 per evening. So that's a lot of money. Retiring there Bob Moore, the Austrian-based KTM rider from the USA. So Moore's race is over, but still Mike Craig, number 9, in second place, chasing hard and swing over the handlebars. The youngster overcooked it. Well, 17 years of age only, and he was getting a little bit excited there. Mike Craig can't believe his good fortune. And second place now, Warren Edwards, riding number 16, is closing. Well, young Swink just couldn't hold on to the speed of the Honda. Craig was putting him under pressure, but the battle further down the order still raging now. Denny Stevenson on the Suzuki all the way from Nebraska. And remember, the Americans consider Supercross to be their sport. It's their privilege to win. Whether they're in Europe or not makes no difference at all. Right, Stevenson, number 5, riding number 22 right behind him, the 17-year-old Frenchman, Fred Bolley, who's captured the imagination of the French supporters. Young Fred Bolley, who started his career on Honda, now on Yamaha, pushing hard, number 11 there, Greg Albertine, the South African. So the action fast and furious here at Pariisi. Denny Stevenson, 20 years of age, number 5, right with him still, young Fred Bolley, the young lad who looks just like any French backstreet kid with hair down to his shoulders and a spotty complexion, but by golly, he can ride a motorcycle, and he's right up amongst the very best in the Supercross world now. Fred Bolley, 22. There ahead of him, Stevenson. So Stevenson could well succumb to this young Frenchman being urged on by the local crowd here, giving him tremendous support, and just how important it is. You can hear the crowd for yourselves on the last lap then, 8 laps under his belt, just something in the region of 600 meters now for Mike Craig to do, the race leader. Flicks it round, the left-hander hooks it up through the gearbox on the last lap. The marshal there indicating the one finger is up. I hope Mike Craig doesn't take that to mean something rude. There's the checkered flag then. Mike Craig gets the win. Greg Albertine, number 11, fights up to second place. That will mean Warren Edwards, number 16, is in third. And as for the rest of them, your guess is as good as mine. Craig then, a super win, handed to him on a plate when Swink went over the handlebars. Confirmation then of that result. Craig it was, Albertine Edwards, Bruno Guillard and Denny Stevenson got 5th. Further down the order, remember, 11 riders started this race. Those are the top 5. They will go through into the final. Fred Bolley just misses out, but he might go through as the fastest Frenchman. Swink remounted to get 7th.